Kingdom Hearts is the love child of Disney and Final Fantasy, and the story goes like this. See, Lights and Heart come from this thing called Kingdom Hearts, right? And people want to be scumbags and fight over it, which caused the Keyblade War and allowed darkness to swallow Kingdom Hearts and destroy the world. The worlds got rebuilt as separate, smaller worlds by the light inside of children's hearts. Okay, flash forward like 1,000 years or whatever. Along comes Xehanort, he's the bad guy, that wants to do another Keyblade War to get Kingdom Hearts because he's really curious or whatever. So he manipulates 3 kids and his bestie, Master Ericus. Those kids are Aqua, Ventus, and Terra. Yeah, he sucks. Terra and Aqua really want to become Keyblade Masters, but Terra fails his exam, so he gets all tilted and leaves home to find out why. In reality, he was strung along by Master Xehanort. Ventus follows him like a sick puppy, and Aqua follows Ventus to put him back in the kennel. Along the way, they fight Unverse, that come from Vanitas, Ventus's funky other half, which if they fight, they make the Keyblade, which can summon Kingdom Hearts, Xehanort's master plan. After Terra helps Master Xehanort kill Ericus, see, I told you he sucks, the 3 converge at the Keyblade graveyard, where Ventus fights Vanitas, then goes into a coma, RIP. Terra's body gets taken over by old man Xehanort, RIP, and Aqua traps herself in the realm of darkness trying to save Terra, who's Xehanort now, RIP. Oh yeah, Terra and Aqua meet these kids, Riku and Kairi, effectively making them future Keyblade wielders. More on that later. And Ventus's heart goes inside of the heart of this kid named Sora in order to heal. Terra Xehanort gets amnesia and is eventually found by Ansem the Wise. Alright, 10 years later, Sora, Riku, and Kairi are best friends trying to leave their island in search of new worlds. Yeah, good luck. When suddenly, a storm happens on their island and Sora gets a Keyblade that was meant for Riku because Terra made him touch his key. The island gets boned and Sora wakes up in Traverse Town where he meets Goofy, Donald, Leon, Who's Squall, Yuffie, Aerith, and Sid. Sora, Donald, and Goofy go on a quest to find Sora's friends and Mickey Mouse. Riveting. They go to a bunch of Disney worlds and beat on Heartless and Disney bad guys before making it to Hollow Bastion, where Riku takes the Keyblade and loses it again. Sora kills himself to save Kairi, but not really, he's back. Turns out the real bad guy who everyone thought was Maleficent is actually Ansem. No, not that Ansem. This guy turns out to be a Heartless of Xehanort that was just behind the scenes to try and get, you guessed it, Kingdom Hearts. Sora mollywops him and saves the day, but now they gotta close this big door because the darkness forgot its Huggies and it'll keep leaking darkness, so they close it. Oh yeah, Mickey and Riku get trapped on the other side. Kairi goes home and Sora, Donald, and Goofy start a new quest to find Mickey and Riku again, which starts now. Sora and company go to Castle Oblivion because Mr. Blackcoat said so. There they are harassed mentally, emotionally, and physically by members of the Organization 13. More on them later. So Sora and Riku, oh yeah, he's in this game, kill like half of them in the castle except for Axel. Remember him, he's kind of important. So since Castle Oblivion and this girl Nominate, Kairi's nobody, more on that later, made a train wreck of Sora's memories, he has to take a year-long nap in order to fix it. And Riku decides to go incognitus to protect Sora from the rest of the organization and learn more about them. Alright, so remember when Sora killed himself but not really? That created what's called a nobody. Actually 2. He may nominate Kairi's nobody because Kairi spells it because she can't make one. Oh yeah, there's Princess of Heart and Kairi's one of them. Sora's own nobody, Roxas, starts running around and stuff and gets in with the crowd known as Organization 13 that needs him in order to collect hearts to complete a man-made version of Kingdom Hearts. Apparently only Keyblades can do that. So Roxas becomes besties with Axel, remember? And a girl named Xion, but it turns out Xion is actually a really bad clone of Sora and plays tug of war with Sora's power between Sora, Roxas, and herself. So one's gotta go. Roxas leaves the organization after not getting any answers and kills Xion because sad story writing. Roxas gets livid and goes after Xemnas, but steps on Riku when he gets on his way. Riku goes Super Saiyan Ansem and steps on Roxas, capturing him to finish Sora's nap with his babysitter Diz. So Roxas wakes up in the Digimon world and eventually comes to terms and rejoins with Sora so Sora can finish his nap. Sora wakes up with Donald and Goofy and Mickey shows up and tells them they have to go see Yen Sid, who explains that things are not okay after Sora thought he saved the day. So the organization is running around with a bunch of nobodies and Heartless to complete Kingdom Hearts. Sora goes for round 2 to stop them, ends up killing the other half of the organization before hitting up their leader Xemnas, the nobody of Xehanort. Remember how Ansem was one half? Well, this is the other half. Roll with it. Also, Riku and Kairi are in for the ride. Yeah! This turns out to be the real Ansem and blows himself up with part of Kingdom Hearts. Oh yeah, the organization turns out they're the nobodies of his former students. Yeah. Xemnas fights the crew, gets murked. Sora and Riku get separated from the rest of the group and Xemnas gets unmurked only to get murked again. Sora and Riku end up in the realm of darkness only to get zapped back home thanks to the power of love. Everything seems to turn out okay and Mickey gets home to find out that the journal that belongs to Jiminy Critic has bugs in their data. What? Mickey decides to use data versions of our boys to blast the bugs and clean the journal. So it turns out the bugs were in the journal because Data Nominate and Data Roxas need to teach Sora a lesson on getting his feelings hurt and that there are people that need to be saved, like Terra, Aqua, and Ventus. So Mickey writes a letter to Sora saying that he need to take the Mark Mastery exam in order to save them. Oh yeah, and Xehanort's coming back because Ansem and Xemnas are dead and the Keyblade War is gonna go down, so they need reinforcements. Test time, Sora and Riku take the Mark Mastery exam to become Keyblade Masters. Long story short, Riku passes, Sora fails. But hey, there's a young version of Xehanort running around now because he has the power of time time travel thanks to Ansem. Just leave it alone. Thanks to this power, he gathers other Xehanorts to make up the new Organization of 13 because Master Xehanort says to make the real Kingdom Hearts and the real Keyblade, they need 13 darknesses and 7 lights. So yeah, alright, teams break. Sora falls asleep and Riku wakes him up getting valuable data from data Ansem inside of Sora. And Lee, who was Axel, is back with a Keyblade. Sora goes to hang out with his funky friends while Mickey tells Riku and Kairi, who Riku brought to train, a story about Aqua, who is still trapped in the realm of darkness. Riku and Mickey go to find her and Kairi goes to train with Lee. Sora comes back and it turns out he's all weak in the knees due to him almost getting drafted to the enemy team. Then Jensen remembers he watched Hercules on VHS and tells Sora to hit him up. After reaching Olympus, Sora gets a cryptic answer from Hercules on how his heart can be his guiding key to get his powers back, as well as a cryptic answer from Xigbar, who warns him of a very scary participation award at the end of his journey. After Riku and Mickey get their balls rocked in the realm of darkness, the group regroups to have Sora focus on relearning the power of waking, the ability he and Riku were trying to learn during their test, the power necessary to wake up everyone that was written out of the series. While Riku and Mickey retrace the steps of Terra, Aqua, and Ventus to try and figure out their location. All the while, Lee and Kairi train in the hyperbolic time chamber. Sora goes for round 3 in the Disney worlds as the gravity of the incoming Keyblade War gradually weighs on him, and the new organization harasses him at every turn. Oh yeah, he plays the sick video game Verum Rex in the Toy Story world, and Rex thinks he's this character named Yozora. I wonder why. Sora decides enough is enough and goes to help Riku and Mickey in the realm of darkness, using Ericus' Keyblade from the first trailer, which you actually don't fight with! After dropping in, he beats the sense into Aqua, who got ignored by Ansem, and finally saves her from the realm of darkness. That's 1. She leads him to Ventus, who Sora wakes up using the power of waking. That's 2. And now we got 7 guardians to fight the 13 darknesses. Time for war! Actually, not really. They get smoked. Sora wakes up in the no-no zone called the Final World thanks to Kairi acting as his bungee cord, and after getting cheered up by a nameless star, he decides it's rewind time and uses the power of waking to revert everyone from dying, which young Xehanort tells him is the ultimate no-no. More on that later. Thanks to the reset, Naminé was able to reach out to the Lingering Will, Terra's automaton of fun, and change the future. Roll with it. Sora and the Guardians finally clash with the 13 Seekers of Darkness in the Keyblade War, during which most of the new organization are killed. Luxord gives Sora a Joker, Roxas, Xion, Terra comes back, that's 3, 4, and 5, and Kairi gets captured. After Old Man Xehanort is the last man standing, he goads Sora into hitting the 13th bell after killing Kairi, thus creating the true Keyblade and summoning the real Kingdom Hearts. Sora, Dawn, and Goofy power of waking his ass while the others hold back the Kingdom Hearts Doomsday button. Sora and Xehanort wind up in Scala at Kylum, where the final battle commences, and spoilers, Sora comes out on top. Xehanort explains that Kingdom Hearts has the power to reset the universe, his master plan in ridding the world of darkness. He bows his head in defeat in realizing Sora, Kingdom Hearts 3 reminded him of his hopeful younger days and surrenders the Keyblade to him, before passing on from his injuries in the arms of his best friend Ericus, who was hiding in Terra's heart the whole time. After Sora closes Kingdom Hearts, he decides to use the power of waking one more time in order to bring back Kairi. Returning to the past, he traces the hearts of his homies in real time in order to reach a point to restore Kairi without resetting the timeline again. He achieves this, but since he tampered with his power in the wrong way too many times, he runs out of one-ups, pays the ultimate price, and disappears from existence. Elsewhere, Xehanort's Keyblade is reclaimed by its original owner, Xigbar, who not only survived, but turns out to be the super long-lost master known as Lushu from the days of the original Keyblade War. He then summons 4 out of his 5 other homies as they reminisce and anticipate the arrival of their master, the Master of Masters, who actually met Xehanort in his youth long before the events of the Sora games. It was thanks to this encounter that Xehanort was able to understand more about the darkness, and that the Keyblade War was originally brought about in order to draw out, expose, and capture the 7 deadly darknesses of the 13 original darknesses within the beings of the 7 lost masters, all in the hopes of giving them form to destroy them. 1 year passes after Sora went bye-bye, and the crew is trying to find him to no avail. Sid then boots up Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix with that new Kingdom Hearts 3 patch, and Riku gets his game on in the data battles, hoping to get that secret ending. But it doesn't work out. The fairy godmother rolls up saying she has a clue in Riku's dream of Tokyo in Japan. Roll with it. Meanwhile, Kairi tries the Chain of Memories approach and has been napping for a year. While thinking really hard about the entire Kingdom Hearts soundtrack, she remembers something very important Xehanort told her in her youth after being kidnapped, a world beyond their reality. After waking up, Kairi and Riku reunite and combine their clues, and the fairy godmother takes them to see the nameless star. Remember her? Turns out the star is originally from this mysterious world that Riku dreamt of and Kairi remembered. It's called Quadratum. Kairi decides to train with Aqua, and Riku goes on ahead to find Sora using the nameless star as a path. But what about our protagonist? Well, Sora wakes up in an alternative version of the final world and encounters Yozora. Yeah, that video game character from the Toy Story world. After an incredibly cryptic exchange where both boys seem to have limited awareness of each other, they duke it out in Shibuya, aka Quadratum. No matter who comes out on top, the players win, as we are treated to not 1 but 2 secret moves based on the outcome. When the dust clears, Yozora is awakened in a car by his butler, who looks and sounds a lot like Luxord. While both boys ponder if any of this is real or not, while none of this is making sense to them, we are promised an oath to return. May your heart be your guiding key.
So you haven't subscribed to HMK yet? Don't piss Xemnas off.